Hello again, and we are still under life and living. In our previous two lessons, we've covered photosynthesis and respiration, which was unit number 1. Now we will cover unit number 2, which talks about the interactions and interdependencies. Okay, unit number 2, which talks about interactions and interdependencies. Okay, under life and living. All right, let's see what do we have in unit number 2. Okay, we've got a breakdown of what we are going to cover. However, in this lesson, we will cover the introduction to ecology. We will cover ecosystems. We'll cover interdependencies in ecosystem, and that will be broken down into 3, which is mutualism, commensalism, and parasitism. You remember we've spoke about parasitism in photosynthesis, right? When we talk about plants that don't have chlorophyll. So you see now they told us that we will find it in detail. So this is what we will be covering in this lesson. So we're going to start at 2.1, cover 2.2, cover 2.3, and 2.3 is broken into 2.31, 2.32, 2.33. Okay, this is what will be covered in this lesson. Let's go for it. We will come back to this page 31 now and then just to check what we are covering. Okay, so the first that we get is ecology. Okay, we are going to start with ecology. They say ecology is the study of interactions of organisms with one another and with the physical and chemical environment in which they are found. If you have to define ecology, you say that ecology is the study of interaction of organism with one another, and with the physical and chemical environment in which they are found. Scientists usually classify the study of ecological interactions into the following. They break it down, ecological interaction, they break it into biosphere. You remember biosphere in your previous grade? Ecosystem, communities, and population. That's how ecological interaction is classified. Biosphere, ecosystem, communities, and population. Let's look into the ecological interaction. How is it explained? Ecological interaction. Let's just scroll up a bit. They say the ecological interaction can be explained as followed. Biosphere is all the ecosystem together, which consists of all the communities plus non-living things in the environment. And it consists of communities, which is different populations living together. It also consists of population, a group of individuals of the same species. Okay, and it consists of individual or organism. Let's look at ecosystems. Living organisms that live together in an environment are interdependent, okay, which means organisms depend on each other. Okay, dependent. This living organism include plants, animals, and humans. These are the biotic components, okay? The environmental conditions, for example, which is soil, water, and climate, play an important role. These are the abiotic non-living components. Okay, let's read this paragraph again. Living organisms that live together in an environment are interdependent. These living organisms include plants and animals, and humans. These are the biotic components. So biotic components are plants, animals, and humans, which are living organisms. And also the environmental conditions, which is soil, water, climate, they also play a role. These are the abiotic, which is means the non-living components. Okay, ecosystems do not have specific size but enclose a limited area. Note that the whole planet can be an ecosystem. Examples of ecosystem are Kruger National Park, Kalahari Botanical Gardens, and Harib Dam. Okay, this is what they give us as example of ecosystem. They say here, let me scroll up a bit again. Ecosystem is an area that consists of an ecological community where the living, which is biotic, and non-living, which is abiotic, exist and interact with each other. Remember, the living substances are biotic and the non-living substances are abiotic substances. We've covered this in your previous grade. They say they exist and interact with each other. And they say the biosphere is the sum total of all the ecosystem on Earth. The sum total of all the ecosystem on Earth is the biosphere. An ecosystem consists of a variety of biotic organisms. All the living organisms that occur in an ecosystem contribute to the biodiversity of an ecosystem. It also contains the non-living components found in the environment. So ecosystem consists of living organism and non-living organism. Okay, let's continue there. And we have biodiversity. They say biodiversity is the variety of life that occurs in one ecosystem or habitat. Living organisms adapt to survive in certain habitats. Like for example, crocodiles can only survive in habitat where there is a lot of water, like rivers or dam. A crocodile will never survive in the desert, while other animals like orangs, which is the gemsbok, prefer a desert. We find different habitats within an ecosystem, and they define what is a habitat. It's the area in which organisms lives. We have an example here. They say a cheetah's habitat is grassland. The habitat of Mopani worms is Mopani trees. Habitat is where you stay or where you live. We find different plants and animals in a habitat. The plants and animals are dependent on each other for food and protection. Together they form community. Plant and animals, they form community. Okay. Remember that biotic organisms are dependent on other biotic organisms and abiotic factors that are found in their habitat. Remember, biotic is living organism and biotic is non-living organism. Okay. So you can see different habitat and food that they are eating and the abiotic factors like water, because those are the non-living organisms. They define the community. They say community, it is all the living things in one habitat. Communities consist of a variety of populations, e.g., we've got herds of kudus. Here you see them. We've got flocks of sparrows. You see them. And we've got schools of different fishes. You see different fishes under water there. That is communities. They consist of a variety of populations. And they define what is population for us there. Population is a group of individuals of the same species within a community. These definitions highlight certain green you need to study and know them. An ecosystem is determined by a network of interaction between different organisms and their environment. The survival of individual organism and population depends on their ability to integrate and adapt to the changes taking place in their habitat or ecosystem. Let's go to page 37. We have covered ecology and ecosystem now. So now we look at interdependencies and we start with mutualism. Okay, what is mutualism between different organisms in living in a certain environment? They say with mutualism, both parties benefit from the relationship. I think this is the good one, because in a relationship, both parties need to benefit. Okay, let's see the example of a mutualism. Mutualism is one type of interdependency. Okay, remember, under 2.3 we are looking at interdependencies. Okay, and the first type of interdependency is mutualism, where both parties benefit from the relationship. Okay, this is, for example, animal to animal, where we have a crocodile, for example, and a Egyptian plover. Okay, Egyptian plover is that bird that you see. Do you see that small bird? Let me zoom it in the mouth of the crocodile. Oh, what happens there? Let's see. Oh no, oh no, yes. Just need to bring it closer. You see the crocodile and the Egyptian plover here. Okay, that is mutualism. And let's see how they explain mutualism. They say it's an animal to animal. A crocodile lies with its mouth open so that an Egyptian plover is able to get rid of small pieces of meat that are stuck between the crocodile's teeth. Wow. The crocodile does not eat the plover. It does not. Okay? Please just understand, because this is mutualism. Both parties, they benefit from their relationship. The crocodile does not eat the plover and gets a free dentist session. How nice. The plover feeds on the small pieces of meat that were stuck between the teeth. Also, under mutualism, we can have animal to plant. This is the example, and let's go through the mutualism where it is animal to plant, which is bees and flowers. Bees are animals and flowers are plants. Bees depend on the flower's nectar for nutrients. Flowers depend on bees to spread their pollen and therefore ensure pollination. You see now, okay, that is mutualism. There's nothing that eat each other. And we have the last one, which is plant to plant, and they say is lichens. Lichens, okay? Lichens actually consist of two organisms, which is fungi and algae. Okay, fungi and algae. It's plant to plant. The fungus absorbs water and nitrogenous substances and gives it into the algae. The algae use it to produce carbohydrates through photosynthesis, which the fungus gets in return. Okay, so we can see a plant to plant benefit as well. So if we talk about interdependency, type number 1, mutualism, we've got animal to animal, we've got plant to plant, and we've got animal to plant. Okay, so please know those examples. Okay, first type of interdependency, mutualism. Example, animal to animal. Under animal to animal can be a crocodile and the Egyptian plover. And we can have another type of mutualism, which is plant to plant. We can have lichens. Okay, lichens, which is algae and fungi. All right, and we can have animal to plant mutualism, which is bees to flowers. This is quite interesting. Okay, second type of interdependency that we are going to look at is commensalism. Okay, commensalism. In this relationship, one party will benefit while the other will not benefit, nor will it be disadvantaged. Okay, so please get this clear. Only one party benefits. The other will not benefit. However, it will also not be disadvantaged. Okay, that is commensalism. Commensalism. Now, the types that we also have animal to animal, where we have white egret and a cattle. You see a cattle there and a white egret. Do I have to zoom, or can you see that? Let's see if I can zoom so that you see the tiny white egret there. Let's see. I hope my page doesn't jump like last time. Okay, let's do this again. Yes, you see the cattle there? You see the white egret there on top. This is a commensalism where we have, my apologies, let me just go back to a commensalism. Okay, we are almost there. We've covered mutualism, and we just need to go to the next page. Commensalism. Let me zoom it. We are back. The first type that we're looking of commensalism is animal to animal, and the animals we have is the white egret and a cattle. While cattle graze, insects are driven into the air, which are eaten by white egrets. The white egret benefit, but there is no benefit or disadvantage to the cattle. Okay, so everybody is safe, but one party only benefits, which is the white egret. But I think somewhere, somehow, the cattle benefit because the animals are taken away from it, like the ticks and the stuff. Okay, but now let's leave that out. Only the white egret benefits. Okay. And the second type there of commensalism is the second type of commensalism is animal plant. Okay. And the example that we have there is finches and trees. Okay, they say, okay, this is the finches and trees. That is the bed, okay, the finch, and you see the trees. So here the finches build their nest in tall trees. The tree provides protection against the predators and floods. So the finch benefits. The tree is not at a disadvantage due to the nest, but it also does not benefit from this relationship. One party benefits and the other one is not harmed, it's not disadvantaged. Okay. And then the last one is plant to plant, which is orchids and trees. Orchids and trees. Okay. The orchids are not fed by trees. They need trees so that they can grow higher. They use trees to grow and therefore get more sunlight, which is necessary for photosynthesis. Since orchids do not feed on the tree is not disadvantaged, but it also does not benefit from this relationship. So you need to be careful of the relationships that you get involved in. I'm not talking about whatever you are thinking. I'm talking even about friendship relationships. Is it mutualism? Is it commensalism? And we look at the last one now, parasitism. They've mentioned it a little bit in Unit 1 under photosynthesis. Let's look at parasitism, which is the third type of interdependency. Okay, third type of interdependency. In this relationship, one party will be disadvantaged while the other benefits. This one is not good. First one, animal to animal. Ticks and dogs, for example. The tick benefit from this relationship since it feeds on the dog. The dog is disadvantaged and may even become infected with an illness like biliary. Okay, so yeah, this is not good. The second type of a parasitism is plant to plant. And this is what they mentioned in unit number 1, photosynthesis. Let's hear that in detail. I've been looking forward to hear this. A plant to plant dodler on other plant. Okay. And dodler obtain all its water, nutrients, and carbohydrates from its host. And all of this is to the detriment of the host. You see, so one plant get water and carbohydrate from another plant, right? And the other plant does not benefit, and actually it might even die because of that. We have an interesting fact here. So the types of parasitism, it's only two: animal to animal and plant to plant. Interesting fact there, a female flea can suck up to 15 times her own body weight in blood every day. Woo! You know what is a flea, guys? I hope you know, but these things, they bite, eh? They are so tiny you can't even catch them, but when they bite you, woo! So they say it can suck 15 times her own body weight in blood every day. Okay, every day. So mosquitoes are also type of parasites. They say the abiotic factors, remember abiotic, non-living, in a habitat which is soil, water, and that. They say abiotic factors in a habitat play an important role in survival of biotic organism, the living organism. Water, soil, and oxygen and carbon dioxide are just some examples of abiotic factors that contribute to survival of any plant and animal. So we, the biotic organisms, right? We need the abiotic organism for survival. We really need that. Okay, our survival is dependent on abiotic um, factors, which is water, soil, and carbon dioxide. So we have covered, guys, ecology, we have covered ecosystem, we have covered interdependency, which has got three types: mutualism, commensalism, and parasitism. Okay, please go and study that, examples of each interdependency, and examples of those animals and plants, and how do they interact with each other. So this lesson is we will end it here, and next time we will continue with feeding relationships. Okay, please, guys, study, write your notes, study and memorize the information that we have covered. We are still under unit 2. Okay, we've covered unit 1 completely. Unit 2, we've done only the first part, which is ecology, ecosystem, and interdependencies. Our next lesson is going to be feeding relationships. Thank you.